Greetings, friends, followers all over the world. My name is Chine Okechukwu, a widow. Yes, a widow. But I am Jesus' wife. Yes, Mrs. Jesus. That's what I call myself. Today, I want to talk on a very important topic. I want to talk on the journey of being a widow, and I caption it widowhood. Yeah, widowhood. What is widowhood? Widowhood is the state of fact of losing a partner. It is a state by which a married individual has lost a partner to death. Widowhood is a journey. It's a journey that doesn't end easily. And sometimes one doesn't recover from it easily. It's a journey in the sense that it doesn't end. Once a widow is already a widow, even if you marry again, even if by peradventure you marry again, you were once a widow before you married again. And unless you never had a baby or you don't have issues, that is children from the other marriage before the demise of your partner. But since once you have a child, you were once a widow. And it is not always easy to recover from that state, except by the grace of God. That's why I say widowhood is a journey. It's a journey that starts right from the day you lost your spouse. Right from the moment you lost your spouse, widowhood starts. And widowhood is let's continue. You're welcome. The viewer, you're welcome online. Thank you for being here. Like I was saying, a widowhood is a journey. And it starts from the day your spouse gives up to the ghosts. The moment he or she is dead, you become a widow, whether you buried him or not. And in this widowhood journey, there are some challenges one face along the line. One of them is fear. Fear. The first thing that will grip you when you lose a spouse is the first thing you experience is shock. The first thing you experience is shock. Like, you will be like, is this for real? Is it happening in real life? Am I the one experiencing this? Why am I the one experiencing this? No, a lot of questions will be coming. Why am I the one? Why is this thing happening? Is it for real? Am I daydreaming? Why? Why? Like you'll be feeling, it's just not just truth. This thing is just a mere drama. Let me know. Very soon I will hear from him. He will come. He will come home. Or maybe he will call you. You'll be expecting calls. Like when it's time that maybe the time your spouse used to come home, assuming he's one that goes to work or she's one that goes to work, like you will kind of be feeling the presence that now this person will, but I just switch. No, you'll be feeling it as if the person is still alive. Very soon, no, it's almost the time. Very soon, no, he will be back. All of a sudden, you remember, you say, how I wish I would just hear the knock on the door, and I'll open the door, it will be him. You know, that kind of state. You are just shocked. You are just, wow, is this thing happening for real? Am I sure if this is true? That is the first problem you will encounter. This shock will lasts for so long. It lasts for so long. It will last. You always they will keep being in shock even for over a month till they see the person, till they see their man or their wife being buried. They'll still be like, no, it's not true. Some will be like, I feel these people are joking. No, it's not true. I feel they are joking. The second thing that will come is fear. Fear. Now you become afraid. What will happen? How am I going to cope? What is my future? What is the future of my children? How am I going to, can I go on? Am I still going to live? You know, that is the kind of fear that will be coming. A lot of questions. Even for over 1 year, you'll be having such experience. Will I live again? Am I going to still survive this? Is this thing, is my children going to survive this? How do I present this issue to my children? When they ask questions, what do I tell them? How do I answer them? Like a lot of things, you'll be afraid of a lot of things. Coupled with the fear of maybe your family, your in-laws family. How am I going to face them? How are they going to treat me? How? A lot of things. You'll be afraid of a lot of things. What if after I bury my husband, they start, or maybe once my husband, what if now that he died, maybe they start coming for what he has? Maybe more especially those that their kids are still little, or those that didn't even have a child in the marriage. Sometimes they are bound in this part of our world, like African, they encounter such things. So you develop the fear because you don't really know what might happen, what might come up. You don't know how they see you, those your in-laws, maybe your brother-in-laws, your sister-in-law, your parents-in-law, that is your mother-in-law and your father-in-law, if they are still alive. How they see you, what will they say? How will you cope with them? It's a lot of things. You'll be afraid of a lot of things. Another thing you encounter is anxiety. Sometimes you'll be alone and you'll be feeling, God, what if something happen now? What if I see, even though he's buried, what if he comes now? What if I see him now? Like a lot of things you'll be thinking. Sometimes when my own happened, even up to now, sometimes I don't sleep well. It's just normal. For me, I think it's just normal because is part of those things. That is part of anxiety. You're anxious. What will happen? How do you know your feelings? You have a lot of feelings, mixed feeling in you. You don't even know what to feel. You coupled with the absence of your spouse. You don't know if it's you are anxious of you are feeling anxiety because you are afraid, or because you are missing his presence. How are you going to cope? You alone, how are you going to cope in this world? And maybe your children are still little. You'll be how are you going to cope with these children? How will you make them be together? Will you make them like not feel bad or feel the presence or the absence of maybe their father or mother? These are those things that you'll be anxious of. You always think of it. Okay, even if I make them to be happy, even if how will I go to school fees? How do I pay school fees? How do I pay rents? How do I cope? Even feeding. What if you're having a newborn baby? Sometimes you think, what if this baby falls sick this night? Will only me be able to take care of the child? Will I be able to handle this child alone this night? If anything happens to us then now, what will happen? Who do I call? How do I take care of? These are some of the things you become anxious of. You think it's even when you are walking on the road. Sometimes on your own, you are alone. You begin to mutter some words. You don't even know you are talking. It's just because of the anxiety you are feeling in you. You begin to murmur on your own. This thing, what if this thing happen now? What if I go for business? What if I leave my children and go for business? What will happen? Those kind of things. What if when it's time to pay their school fees, what if I am not able to carry it? These are one of the things you encounter. It's one of the things you see. It's one of the problems and challenges you face as a widow. But I want to assure you that that thing that you are always anxious of, those things that are your fears, one way or the other, you just get favor and it's been provided for. But before that happens, you have to promise yourself and promise God that you want to be a faithful widow. I know that this widow that I am now as a widow is going to be challenging to me, but I know that my God is faithful. The only thing that can solve all these anxieties and fear is believing in God and relying on God as your strength. As a widow, you only need God, not any man, not any woman, including your in-laws, even friends. Some will come promise you heaven and earth, promise you all and all. Yes, people will promise you a lot of promises will come, but at the end, if you trust on human beings, you will get disappointed. I know some people will promise you heaven and earth, and at the end they will fulfill their promise, but it is only if the person has a fear of God. That is why I say at this stage you only rely on God, and your strength is God, from God and God alone, not any man, including your own people. You just have to rely on God. Even if any of your relation or your in-laws are helping you or decide to help you, you just have to have faith in God and rely on God, because He's the only one who will not disappoint you. At a point, it will be as if you are devastated, that no one is there for you and no one is there with you. But God is always here. He's always there. He doesn't fail his own. He doesn't fail anybody who is always faithful to him. So this evening, there are many things, many problems, challenges that widows or widowers face. But here, I just want to kind of do a little introduction. But because as time goes on, we'll talk more on them. We'll talk on the stages of widowhood. Widowhood has 3 stages. We'll talk on the stages of widowhood as time goes on. And every other things, even the trauma that is accompanied with widowhood, we are going to discuss them. How do you move on? Do you move on? Even if you lost your spouse, even if he was the breadwinner, you don't have anything, then how do you move on with your life? How do you take care of your children? How do you stay alive and stay happy? These are the things we'll be discussing on this page. If you are online or you come across this page, The Faithful Widow and Kids, please share, invite friends to follow our page and like our page, because more of these lessons and topics on widowhood will be coming up. We'll be discussing it extensively, be it on write-up or on live talk or video. We'll be getting them. So please always stay tuned to our page for more information on widowhood. Thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate it.